just when you think the Danny Masterson scandals are over, there is a new one. So apparently this is a gun scandal where there are about 10 guns that Danny should have given over to the authorities due to his, quote, legal problems, right? Just legally should have handed over the guns to be held, but they're missing at this point, and there's a more delicious possibility that some of these guns may have been given over to Ashton Kutcher. And it gets a little bit more weird and silly with him. Not in a good way, this is all very serious, but it is pretty rich irony because apparently Ashton is anti-gun. He's for gun reform, but apparently privately, secretly, he's all about getting guns as gifts. He just loves them guns, and Danny may have handed over some guns that may have been illegally modified. Now, this is all speculation. We don't know. It could be Danny did follow the law. He just gave over the guns or sold the guns legally. He's not technically obligated to hand over the guns because they're legally gone, right? They were sold or gifted legally. Depends on the state. The states have different regulations. It is possible that nothing bad is happening. It's all legal. There's no problem. So we're just going to hear Tommy and Aaron go back and forth on, again, speculations that what could possibly be wrong with Danny handing over these guns.
Artillery stuff except that handgun, right? The rest of the stuff all kind of makes sense to not be on the list, but maybe he just happened to give that as a gift to his friend on his birthday, and that's why it's missing in action with the rest of them. But it's odd. If you look at the entire list if you look at every weapon on the list, Aaron, the ones that are missing are the ones that a gangster would say, I want all of those. It's not like haphazardly separated. These are what gangsters call choppers or sweepers. These are things designed to put a lot of lead in the air in a really short period of time. And they're not, I mean, this isn't hunting stuff. This is killing stuff. It's the reason that the first attorney didn't want this stuff to get read into court, Aaron.
Again, we're just speculating. At this point, it could just be a simple greed thing, namely that Danny modified these guns. He, yes, did something illegal, but being cynical, he just modified them to sell them. These are just very valuable items. He sold them off. This is just a lot of money for him and Bijou. He doesn't want to admit he did something wrong, and that's it. It's more of a money thing. It's not, right, he's trying to be this big gun runner or anything. And Ashton is just a part of this. I mean, again, what we're finding out is Scientology has a big social network. So it could be Danny just knew a rich Scientologist or a Scientologist into guns and said, hey, I got guns. You want the guns? Hey, yeah, sure. You know, there's a lot of guns, a lot of money. So yeah, sure. Just hand them over. And again, if that person has the ability to legally hold on to the guns, then technically they didn't do anything wrong. However, it is suspicious that Danny didn't just come forward with all this information, just say, yeah, you know, I sold these things off or I gave them away. And I would assume this is just to save Ashton a public relations nightmare because he's already getting a lot of heat for the letters and just these ties to Scientologists. I will add my specialty here with these cults that it is unfortunately very normal for these kind of apocalyptic cults. And Scientology does qualify. They do have this apocalypse about the cosmic warfare with Xenu, and that it is normal for these cults to just stack up a lot of guns. Did that happen in this case? I don't know, but it does follow a pattern with the Scientologists of being very apocalyptic and paranoid, and apparently their members like to stack up on guns. He just likes money, that's it. It's technically illegal, it would be additional charges, and or he did do all this legally, but he's trying to save Ashton from another additional embarrassment. And Ashton just embarrassingly puts out all these public statements that, yes, he's very anti-gun, he's for gun reform, but privately he's into guns, he's into the gun culture, and he's just stacking a lot of these guns, legal and illegal, and it just looks really bad for him. There's one final thing. Apparently Ashton publicly shared some images of him with these guns. So it could be he's acknowledged publicly he has the guns, but apparently these images have been deleted. So it's all very suspicious. Again, it could be nothing is wrong. Legally, Danny did follow the law. He gave over and sold off the guns. But it looks really, really suspicious that he's not more forthcoming. I would assume it is more a greed thing that he just sold off the guns. He just doesn't want to admit to it because there's a lot of money for him and Bijou. But even so, it just looks bad. It looks bad for Scientology. It looks bad for Ashton. It just looks bad all over. So we'll have to wait in the coming weeks if Ashton is going to have to divulge legally where he got these guns from. It just looks really, really bad to not come forward and just be more forthcoming about where he got these guns from. And if he did get them from Danny, why wasn't he just upfront about it? And we kind of know why, because he has these weird links to Scientology. They're making him look really, really bad. So before it was okay to be connected to Scientology, but all these embarrassing lawsuits and all these other headaches are making it look really awful, these connections to Danny. And this is just another additional scandal he doesn't want, and they just want to be very covert about it.